All right, everybody, welcome out to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode number 3. I am AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
The Sam 1976 Brew Free or Die. Oh shit, I'm getting everything mixed up already.
Brew Free or Die Hard.
No. Bruce Willis is going to be in the new Death Wish.
Emily and I saw that Sunday, and it wasn't bad. I'm not a moviegoer. It's not a bad movie. I didn't know it was a remake. Not a bad movie, though. How long ago was it?
74 was the original, I think.
So very.
I think you wound up having 5 Death Wishes.
Very pre-us.
Yes.
Not the Toyota. I'm drinking a 21st Amendment Fireside Chat, or 21st Amendment Brewery Fireside Chat. Winter Spiced Ale, 7.9%, 45 IBUs. If that means anything to you, it doesn't mean anything to me. Steve got this on clearance at Teeter?
Yep. Cotswold, 25% off, so I bought all the 6-packs.
How come my store can't ever put beer on like a fire sale like that? Fire sale for Fireside. The fire sale chat?
Pursue more rival stores, I guess.
I can't do that. Actually, the Teeter in front of my house is the only. I only go there if I want Starbucks or beer. That's the only things I buy from there.
The perks do you want Starbucks?
Not that often. I mean, I always like coffee, but I have to be in the mood to spend $6 on a coffee.
And seeing as there's a Dunkin' next door, you can get Superior coffee cheaper.
And I'll be honest, Starbucks' coffee is more dessert, and Dunkin's gets the damn job done. Like, if you really want to wake up, you drink Dunkin' Donuts.
I like the brand of Turbo Heroin.
Yes, it is really good. Dunkin' should make a coffee stout beer. They should do like a. Did they have one?
Somebody somewhere did, and it's not making it south of the Mason-Dixon line. So they should continue making that and send it here.
It's probably not safe for anything that dark to be south of the Mason-Dixon line. Oh boy, well, that's a way to start out the day. Let's make fun of the. Oh, by the way, there's a T-shirt you would like. It has the rebel flag on it, and it says, "These colors don't read." Ooh, it's heritage, not hate. Yeah, you don't see the folks of South Africa flying the flag of apartheid, do you? Nah, I didn't think so. All right, so we're gonna get it started with some beer here. 21st Amendment's out of
San
Francisco. So, is the Charlotte brewery bubble going to burst? There is another. What's the other one coming? Is it Victory?
The Victory Southern Tier mix-up mashup that will be opening this month, if I recall correctly. Right around the corner from Sugar Creek and Old Meck.
Okay, so South End, but not Plaza Midwood, where all the other ones have been. Okie dokie. Well,
more along the lines of where Thirsty Nomad, Triple C.
I do.
The aforementioned previous ones, yes.
I do fear not Triple C, that Thirsty Nomad is not going to be a thing for too much longer. And I don't say that because the beer is not good. The beer is fantastic. The ambiance is fantastic. The guy behind the bar is fantastic. The location is garbage.
Security through obscurity.
Yeah, same way with Barking Duck in Mint Hill. They moved from a really obscure place to an even more obscure place. Yeah, I mean a bigger place, but more obscure. It's going to be a shame if they do shut. And they might be doing good. I don't know. But it'd be a shame if they shut down just because nobody can really find it. But you got to pay to play. I mean, look how there's no telling how expensive some of those buildings are. Like where Three Spirits is. I mean, that big warehouse. That's not the best location, but that big building. I think Birdsong said their new location was $900,000, and they paid cash for it. So they're doing pretty well.
Them's doing all right.
Yeah, they're doing good.
The bullet holes don't cost extra.
It's kind of a need to be gentrified area, I believe. But somebody asked me the other day about the brewery bubble. It's like, when there's so many breweries, it's got to burst at some point, and it's going to crash. And I was like, I don't think so. Alcohol is not a depreciating asset, I don't think. So it's not like there's a million grocery stores. I mean, there are, but that
They can all be Winn-Dixie and Bilo.
yeah, or your favorite, the Rowdy Audi.
Rowdy Audi that they stepped up to make way for Lidl coming to town, and well, Lidl's got 4 or 5 in region, and Aldi's got 50.
I didn't know they had that many.
My math could easily be off, but if you were to span Salisbury to Fort Rock Hill Mill, I think there are now 5 Lidl stores in the last year that have opened. And I could think of at least 20 extant Aldis that have been here in the last 5 to 20 years. So they had the scramble to renovate, update, getting ready for new competition from their hometown of Germany.
I have to hear about this all the time too at work. 'Cause I work at a rival grocery store. I've been there for 16 years. That's half of my life now. That's depressing.
I've been at my gig for 12, so there's a third of mine.
You get to hear about that all the time, but see that competition, that's different to me because breweries all serve roughly. You could. There's a million different ways to make beer. There's only a couple different ways to sell groceries. So I mean that bubble will probably burst. But as far as beer, it's going to take a lot more. That picked up rather nicely. That was very low too, man. We must have a really hot signal going in. Look at the spike on the. Very nice. So what do we crack? Okay, you got you had the old chub first.
Yeah, so drinking what can it be last session's beer because this is episode 3 once again.
Oh yes. First go round was no bueno. I tried a little something else to get to be able to compress Steve's vocals different than mine, and it didn't work because I had to turn the signal up so loud it started to be fuzzy. So we're going back the old way, and I'll just be listening to this entire podcast again and turning my levels down and Steve's up.
If we want any more tape hits with that last one, we might as well have recorded on 1/4 inch.
The XLR inputs, if you didn't know, record a lot smoother and no static and all that good stuff. Yep. It's not even registering on. Yeah, so it's and I have it cranked up halfway. But technology.
So you're saying these go to 5.5?
See, but I don't see it bursting anytime soon. As long as people like to drink and as long as it's legal, it's probably not going to burst anytime soon. But
of all the amendments that are going to repeat themselves, it ain't going to be the 18th.
No, and I don't think I could. I don't think I could name half of the amendments. The easy one, yeah, but
Dude, it's a bunch of numbers.
Well, yeah, you big silly. That's not what I meant.
It's like 27, 28 of them.
But while we're on beer, Steve and I don't like sours, gozes, wild ales, any of that shit. We were discussing the appeal of them the other day, and by the other day I mean on the episode 3 that you won't hear, and now we're going to discuss them on this episode 3.
Listen back through that just for notes. We could have a script for this one, but we're not going that route because that'd be too easy.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's not. We don't. If you know us, we're not the kind of people who script anything anyway. So, by the way, I deleted it all because it was just so garbage that I just went ahead and deleted the. So sorry, it's living in the whatever sphere. But we were discussing about sours. I don't get why you would want a mouth puckering beverage, and I don't understand the appeal of it. I understand sour candy because that lasts a couple of minutes.
Think of it this way, AJ. Salad dressings. What don't you like? What don't I like?
I think ranch dressing tastes like the semen of Beelzebub, and Steve thinks the same about blue cheese.
I'd rather drink a bucket of vomit than blue cheese. I couldn't tell them apart.
Which brings me to the next point. So we go to Saucer on Monday, and we had the most vile...
What the fear factor?
I genuinely thought Joe Rogan was going to come out and tell me that I won after drinking it. Because Sean Preston and I got it, and it was a Thirsty Dog smoked black lager, I think.
That sounds right. My 2 cents was a Colombian necktie would be preferable to drinking this.
And he's not wrong, guys. Now, I've had quite a few smoked beers I really enjoyed. I like drinking bacon. Steve has enjoyed smoked beers along with me. I've also enjoyed black lagers quite regularly. Good style.
So, with their powers combined, that should be good.
It should be good. But
instead, you'd have better luck drinking a car battery.
Yeah, it tasted like if you took somebody who's been dead for 3 weeks that nobody knew about and wrung them out like a dishcloth into a bucket and then drank the liquid that you got from it. It was heinous and vile, and it was a traveshamockery of a beverage. It was a travesty, a sham, and a mockery. It was a traveshamockery. It was disgustipating. But I chugged it like an absolute champion because it is beer. It's beer. And it might not be good beer. It might be tobacco chew or spit beer, but it's still beer. So I finished it like a champion. Didn't feel like a champion afterwards, but now I kind of do.
Champion, whatever. Let's call the whole thing off.
But no, I'd rather drink that again than drink a sour.
There's so many different sours out there that sound so much better than they are. I'll keep experimenting. Some I don't hate all that much. Only a little bit of hate. Not a lot of hate. A little bit of hate. I'll keep experimenting with those.
Which ones stood out to you?
Trip we made to Nantahala, and they had like super crazy beer tasting. Mm-hmm. They had some sours there.
I don't remember very much of that day.
Also, yes, because, hey, here's 50 beers. Let's try the everything. Something in there was the lighter side of what we don't like.
I vaguely remember a little bit, but I do remember there's a great story, though. So it was me and Steve, and then Toby was there, and Matt, Brendan, and Justin. And we go there, had 50 some odd beers, whatever. They were pouring samples, but it's funny, as everybody's drinking, the samples get more generous because the people pouring them are also drinking, and it just sort of spitballs from there. But we show up, everybody's like, it was a beer geek meet, so they released a Trail Magic Ale, and it was a beer swap meet, bring beer from your hometown. So we all show up with like growlers and tall boy 4-packs from Birdsong and Noda and Three Spirit. I mean, just everywhere you could think of, and everybody else shows up with like these tiny little bottles and 6-packs, and they were like, "Where the hell are you guys from?" We were like, "From Charlotte." It's like, man, Charlotte boys came to party today, and we absolutely did, and nobody was hungover. I wasn't hungover. Steve doesn't get hungover.
Not as far as you know.
He doesn't show it. But no, man, that was a lot of fun. There was a lot of. I bet my liver was just like looking at me like, really, like, are you really doing this to me right now?
Why does your liver have eyes? What'd you eat?
Well, we went to the Iron Skillet the next morning. I love that. That's great hangover food. That was gravy biscuits with liver mush and I think eggs over easy. I think that's what I had. I can remember that, but I can't remember having a sour.
Liver mush has got to be the most awesome food with the worst name.
Yeah.
Because if you had that and standard patty sausage back to back, good luck with that Pepsi challenge, bub.
Yeah. I like to get Emily on that. I was like, here, try this sausage. And it's a little bit peppery. It's it's liver mush. It's got liver in it. You want some more? No, thank you.
The irony skillet.
We need to go back up there.
This is one you could probably pick up with a magnet.
We'll go back up there when you get moved, and I don't have any gigs on a weekend. Back when, which is close to never. We'll make it back up to Bryson eventually. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Same level little town, 1,700 feet up.
Mm-hmm. And Nantahala is opening another tap room in Silva.
I wonder, are they taking over the Heinzelmachen spot?
I don't believe so. I think it's a different building.
They probably want more square footage than that had to offer.
And need.
Rest in peace, little yard gnomes.
That was a good place.
I like that. I like that a lot. And I think part of what had happened is that the owners thereof had aged out, that they can't keep doing this. Like, could you not train somebody, guys?
Yeah, I mean, but
is it really that difficult to butcher ketchup making?
I don't know. If I owned a business, I would have a hard time letting somebody else do something for me. But that's just my personality type. I assume he was the same way. Evidently, though, when Thomas lived in Hickory, so he was a frequent visitor to the western side of North Carolina. He said the guy went to another brewery to be the head brewer, and I don't know who it was.
Mr. Heinzelmachen. I saw an article surrounding that, so he's around there somewhere.
Yep. And let's toast to Innovation Brewing from finally not having to fight Bell's Brewing anymore for that stupid trademark lawsuit. Cheers. So Bell's has brewing innovation since I believe it was 1985, a year before my birth, and 3 years after Steve's. You're 82, baby, right?
81.
81. Close enough.
Thanksgiving, sucker.
So Bell's was suing Innovation Brewing. So Bell's slogan is Brewing Innovation since 1985. Bell's is a multi-million-dollar brewery, nationwide known for Hop Slam, Two Hearted, good stuff like that. I really don't think anybody was going to mix those up. Innovation Brewing from Silva, North Carolina, with the population of basically Mint Hill.
22 thou?
You know what? I should have,
or some fraction thereof.
Maybe I should have said my neighborhood in Mint Hill. That's what I meant to say.
Right on.
That was to me, that was just frivolous. That's just a big guy kicking a little guy.
I don't think Nissan really cares. Like, driving innovation. Are you?
Not now.
Not anymore.
I miss the Maxima was fun though when it worked. I did see somebody made a 300s. The 86 300s had a coach built convertible 86 300Z. Now, I mean, it's cool, but
I know a guy in Greensboro with one. It's got 200K on it. It's like, this thing's a piece of junk, but it keeps running. It's like, that's what happens if it's probably been half neglected for this time. It'll keep running.
An older gentleman in the StarQuest Club group when he once said something incredibly insightful. He said, "A European car will run really good until it's out of warranty. An American car will run forever, but it will run like shit for the last 5 years of its life. And a Japanese car will usually run good and run forever." And I tend to agree with him for the most part. There's a couple here and there, Maxima, but for the most part, that's a pretty true statement.
What's really baffling is that your Max was what, a 99?
Yep, 99.
So that would have been the last of that generation.
Mm-hmm.
So what you experienced in that might have made sense on a 95. A new one at the time. That was in the generation before they came out with dumb shit like coin slat sunroofs and accents that made the 2000 Impala look good.
Although an 02 Maxima you could get with a 6-speed and the 350Z V6, so that would get a strong consideration. And fortunately, I would never have to look at the back end of it because the back end was kind of ugly. Not Impala ugly, but still kind of ugly. I did see at Cars and Coffee on Saturday. It was a G8 Pontiac, and it had all the Holden Commodore badges.
You said Holden awful funny.
Yeah, I love that's such a cool name, like the Commodore. That's so cool. If I was in the market for a gigantic, comfortable sedan, that would...
do realize upon driving that car, you can listen to nobody but Lionel Richie in it.
All night long.
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess Steve and I like to play this really fun game on the Craigslist Cheap Car Challenge. So what we'll do is we'll pick a price. Usually it's under 2G. I think it's 2G usually.
Yeah, whatever keeps the budget low. And funny update from the last episode.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. So for last episode's answer to this, for $2,000, what would you find? Totally. Toyota T100, 95, lives in Myrtle Beach, bright red, 110,000 miles. It's got the 2.7 liter 4. Never mind, this guy had it listed as a 2.5. Not an engine option of that. So to have big ass truck with no power. Therefore, it's good on gas, we hope, for this tin can. It has since been relisted. Apparently, it got bought by somebody that is in Laurinburg, a bump in the road on the way to Wilmington and or Myrtle. Now charging double. But hey, it's got new pictures. It's got that vinyl interior.
It's got that new picture smell.
Yeah, they were asking $3,800 for what has to be the same truck. Tell you what, I'll write you back. Did this thing pass the state's inspection? I'll give you $100 for your work. So I'll offer you $2,100 on this $3,800 truck.
If it were $2,000 still for sale, would you genuinely consider it?
Had I not had additional things on the horizon that are costing about the same, absolutely. But unfortunately, that is third tier thing that, frankly, I might as well get one with the 3.4 of the same vintage.
It will move out of its way a little bit better.
Yeah. And if I want gas mileage, well, I still got the Ponyoda.
True.
Darn, last mileage was 0.7 miles to the gallon, shy of 30.
So close.
So far away.
We could get you we could get you over 30 mpg.
Yeah, usually it's downhill.
Well, have you done plugs and wires, distributor cap?
Plugs and wires did do that a while back when one of the coils went bad.
Oh, it's coil.
Ever had a car running on 3 cylinders when it shouldn't?
Yep.
I've never seen the check engine light blink before.
It was stuttering. I have the first Conquest I had, but it didn't have a. It did have a check engine light, but I don't think that even the check engine light fucking worked. Yeah, my sister beat that car to a pulp into submission.
All the Matrix vibes of that vintage have permanent check engine light from evap code from the catalytic converter. So I'm not looking forward to May whenever that's due to get that taken care of. Can we just do a stopgap thing again? I was like, it's pushing $230K on it. I'm not really trying to dump more money on this car.
Thunderbolt makes a universal catalytic converter that's weld in.
A P47?
Hell yeah. You could look into that. It's a high flow cat. I got the same thing for my Jeep. And, well, it lasted 2 years, and it was $30.
So then you had to get another one?
I've already got it in the garage. I just haven't gotten it welded back in yet. every 6 months, it throws a catalytic converter code, and then I just unplug the battery, and then, well, what do you know? It doesn't throw that code again for 6 more months. We have a weird relationship.
Yeah, the current check engine light, I think I got 1,600 miles and then ran about 15 miles with it off, and then it came back on. And I'm currently 1,800 miles with check engine light back on. Because you've got standard odometer to tell me I've done 229,500. Mm-hmm. Trip A, I currently have 60 miles on this tank of gas. And then trip B is how long between CELs. Or, once I notice, hey, it's off, reset that. Oh, I got 16 miles out of this last one before it's back on. Oh, well. Here we go again.
Well, I guess Toyota decided to be a stickler for, no, you you have something wrong with your engine. You need to fix it. And then Jeep was, if you unplug the battery, we're not worried about it if you're not. So 6 more months.
I haven't bothered with the battery trick. Like, well, inspection's not due yet, so when time comes, I'll deal with that.
Do the Thunderbolt, Cat. If it lasts 2 years, the thing is, if our cars had 15,000 miles, I would say, yep, I'm going to buy another OEM Cat because, it's going to last a little while. Since mine has 315.
If you're at 15,000 miles, you're still in warranty. Somebody's really messed up, and that's not our MO with this.
All right, well, let's say
right now I've got one of the oldest cars with the highest mileage when I bought it that I'm still driving.
My point, I believe my point is that I wouldn't spend a couple $100 on something with that high of miles, because if something catastrophic happens to it and it's worthless, you're going to have a really expensive OEM catalytic converter on a car that doesn't work. By the way,
Catastrophic?
Sorry, Steve's sister.
I thought catalytic converter, but whatever.
Cat.
Yeah. CK. Not Louie.
I was going.
Get your affairs together and we'll talk.
I was thinking Mr. Klein. CK. Calvin Klein. Or Kevin Klein. In and Out. Have you seen the movie In and Out?
No, I'm aware of what you're talking about, though.
Okay, so you already know the storyline.
Ish.
Gotcha. That's a good one. Emily and I made her watch it. That's one of the movies. I like silly movies. She likes sci-fi and such, and I don't do sci-fi.
She's probably figuring out a better way to murder you.
I mean, we have been married almost 5 years and together for 8. I like my chances. For every day for every day we get past that point, if she hasn't done it by now, I mean, you might as well just stick around with me. There are worse choices. She gave me 3 rules when we started dating. She says, don't cheat on me, don't get arrested, and don't get hurt. I don't care what else you do. I said, yep, that's a deal. That's an absolute deal. That's the definition of low maintenance. And she lets me go out and play music and have a silly podcast with a silly friend of mine, and I pretty much get to do whatever the hell I want to do. And you kind of do the same thing.
Don't believe we're getting injured or arrested doing this nonsense.
Injured, no. And we can't cheat on our spouses doing this. Arrested, I mean, anything's possible.
First Amendment, sucker.
Not if some people can help it. Then speaking out against. Moving on. So, give me your top 5 rock vocalists of all time. I'm putting you on the spot. You weren't expecting this, but I'm gonna go. I'll give you a chance to think about it, and I'll go through mine because I've been thinking about this.
Number 1, Dead Air.
I'm going Chris Cornell 1. This is strictly rock genre. We're not doing R&B, because you could go Marvin Gaye, and you could. A lot of folks have great voices, but we're going strictly rock, heavy metal. I think I'm gonna go Chris Cornell is number 1, and then in no other particular order, Freddie Mercury, Miles Kennedy from Alter Bridge. What?
I don't know other Creed.
It's better than Creed. When we met, a mouthful of pancake cereal. I've lost track of. I go
3.
I'll go Robert Plant and Howard Jones. That's my top 5.
Who?
Killswitch and Light the Torch, the black dude. I think that's my top 5. We're gonna listen to some. I'll let you hear Blackbird by Alter Bridge. It's a beautiful song. Miles has very, very strong Chris Cornell-ish traits, but he has more of a brighter. It's not as soulful. It's more classically beautiful than naturally talented. If that makes sense.
I'm gonna have a hard time dethroning, repositioning Mercury, Cornell, and Plant.
Yeah, Robert.
They're guys I haven't heard enough of or at all to place them.
Yeah. You see, you didn't know you were getting a pop.
Not now, Windows. Dumbass.
I might not even edit that out. I might just leave it in. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure I had that muted.
Your computer scan results are clear, by the way.
I don't fucking know how.
So I guess vocalist number 4, Bill Gates. Thanks, computer. And Steve Wozniak for number 5. Hell, if I could tell what bands they've been in. Oh, goodness.
Well, you didn't know you were going to be pop quizzed, so.
No, I don't study for any of this.
Sorry
I
for putting.
Study for that then, and I'm not drunk enough to give you any better answers. Like would I say that Josh Homme's a particularly fantastic vocalist? Maybe, maybe not. But I like everything that he does.
Mm-hmm. Well,
would I say the same for Jack White? Maybe not. But I like about everything that he does. You shrunken Johnny Depp, you.
I forgot, it was a picture of Jack White, and it says Jack White looks like Michael Cera is cosplaying Johnny Depp, and the picture is fantastic. It's just it's perfect.
I don't even see the picture, but I know exactly what we're talking about. Because he's totally a 75% scale Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you be that much larger in life and then minus 75%? There you have him.
Johnny Depp joined Stone Temple Pilots on stage and played a couple of songs with them the other day. Because Stone Temple Pilots has a new singer.
Yeah, which, considering the news of the previous 2, I was always thinking, Johnny Depp joined Stone Temple Pilots. Holy shit, does this mean he's going to die in the next 2 years from a heroin overdose? Or just the history thereof?
I feel like since Pirates of the Caribbean Part 1, I feel like Johnny Depp has played that character in every movie, and now he's living that character. Because some of the interview,
Did you ever see Fear and Loathing?
Yeah, I saw about 45 minutes of it before I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is just too much of an acid trip. Is the rest of it good?
Without being on one yourself, man, it only gets weirder.
God, this is bad country. It was just really. My sister was obsessed with that movie. I love you, Holly. She was obsessed with that movie. When she was younger, she would get really obsessed about the movie Lolita with Jeremy Irons, and I forget her name.
Thank heaven for little girls. What?
She was obsessed with that movie, and she was obsessed with Fear and Loathing, and she was obsessed with Titanic, so much the fact that I got drugged to Titanic 3 times when I was... Titanic was 97, I was 11 years old. So yeah, we went and saw Titanic.
So how many double cassettes did you see?
And a single 8-track.
VHS, man.
Ruins of an ancient
For all I know,
civilization.
this could have been the last Betamax. For all I know,
Maximum Beta. There's a song by Annihilate. Toby got the absolute giggles when he saw this because it was so funny. And then I didn't laugh until he started talking about it. There's a song by the metal band Annihilator, and it's called Maximum Satan.
Oh, Canada.
Toby's like, Maximum Satan. It's Satan to the max. Can't get no more Satan.
No more Satan.
But. Satan noises.
Oh shit, the cat's hungry.
That's what you call it. We can't let them in here because then they'll jump all over everything and be genuinely cute, and we won't be able to
make a lot of noise with these new mic stands.
Yep, got the mic stands on the table this time. So we have to be extra gentle with the beer placement. Oh, you're already out of beer again? Oh no!
Surprise!
We got to remedy that. I'm almost out of beer.
And a 1 and a 2 and
All right, so Steve, what are we drinking right now?
Got me an Oscar Blues Pinner Vintage IPA, whatever the hell that means.
That means it's old, or it's just old at heart. What's the ABV and the deets?
You know how difficult it is to read silver text on a white can?
Yeah, I can't read the big letters on it from here.
4.9.
Ah, gotcha. And Oscar Blues is now a North Carolina beer.
Thanks, Brevard.
Yay! I'm drinking a Terrapin Recreational Ale, courtesy of the Flying Saucer, because Chris Swearingen, buddy of ours, he's the manager there.
Mad props, beer bro.
Hell yeah. Who looks like a cross between Seth Rogen and a guy I went to high school with that I can't remember the name of. Anyway, he gave. I think
they nailed it on the Challenge the Managers trivia night that he was bargain basement Seth Rogen.
But we like bargain basement. But this is I had $15 bar tab and I only spent $12, and he gave me a free tall boy. So it's a recreational session IPA, 4.7%. The
free or $3.
This is probably the lowest gravity beer I've had in a long time. 4.7. Usually go for the. What's funny because like 10 years ago, when I first could start drinking, well, 22, never mind. Everybody was like, "Ooh, high gravity beer." When did high gravity beer come to North Carolina?
August 05 was when the Pop the Cap movement came into effect. So then the legal limit on alcohol that you could sell went from 6 to 15%. What does that mean? Yes, you could have beer as strong as wine sold and served here. What's the actual application of it? Beer's probably teetering out around the 8% mark. Anything stronger usually winds up being a little too industrial tasting.
Or if your brewery name rhymes with Weevil Quinn, you have Evil Twin, their Molotov cocktail, their 15% IPA, and then the light Molotov cocktail that is 12.5%. Now it tastes more like dying by hops, but is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Don't believe us? Ask the dishes.
It's an old hickory Death by Hops.
Yeah, that one's. We had that one last. We had episode 2, I think.
The big bottle.
Yeah, I think you brought it over.
Good, because I was thinking, hey, I'm gonna bring that. I don't remember if I did.
I think you did, and I think we drank it.
It's been a weird day, week, year, season. Whenever we are.
It has been a really weird year, and it's gone by way too fast.
It's March.
And old people are absolutely right. The older you get, the faster it gets. It's like a snowball. Once that snowball starts getting bigger, it never stops, and that sucks. We had our old assistant manager's grandmother died the same day one of our other employees, his brother, died. Like, everybody's dying. Like, it's almost like nobody gets out of this world alive. So far, so good for us, though.
I mean, the only way to get out of this world alive is on a rocket. So,
man,
thanks, Mr. Shatner.
Ugh. She packed my bags.
So, all right. So the only way to not die in this world is simply to make your way into the next world. I don't know, Mars, a stray rocket ship, an asteroid, the moon. Does it necessarily make you immortal on Earth? No. It's simply you are departed, but maybe a little less dearly.
Oh, dearly.
What the buck?
That was my grandfather's nickname, Buck. He was Buck Holt. Never mind.
I had a neighbor next door growing up that was Buck Blocker.
Buck Blocker?
I think, if anything, he probably grew up to become a hunter, if not a school shooter. He and his younger brother were odd ducks.
Sitting bucks.
Well, Dad was martial arts enthusiast, and
your dad?
No, the kids next door. Like their dad was a martial arts enthusiast that drove a Land Rover Defender 110 until it broke, so he got something more reliable.
So 10 miles.
And a Suzu Trooper 2.
Oh my God.
A real penchant for
Jeez.
obscure, boxy, tall vehicles.
Jesus Christ, man.
And and then they split because the mom was gonna have a girlfriend.
Huh. Funny story about that. I'm not going to say names. If you went to high school with me, you already know who it is. I'm not going to say names, though, protecting privacy. But a friend of ours was dating a girl, and the girl broke up with him for another girl. And this other friend of ours made fun of him for years about it. Years. I'm talking never let him live it down.
A reverse chasing Amy?
Yep. And you know what happened to friend who laughed at other friend? Dated a girl, broke up with him for another girl. I don't believe in karma, but that was pretty ironic and funny.
I don't even think.
And I do remember a buddy I played basketball with. He's like, man, and he'd say her name, you know her? Like, yeah. It's like, man, we was at a party, and her and her girlfriend went out to the car, and the car was parked right beside mine, and I swear she was eating pussy better than I do. Out right there in the parking lot. That's classy. Keep it classy, Stanley County. I will absolutely never go back. I love my parents, and I'm glad I grew up where I did, because you can learn from everything. But boy, am I glad I don't live there anymore.
And maybe the lesson that has the biggest takeaway is don't go back there.
Mm-hmm. You grow up because of or in spite of your surroundings. Although you grew up in Greensboro proper.
So it's really interesting to see now that the place I grew up at is a lot more interesting now than it was when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So much so, both my siblings moved back there. There's lots of new microbreweries. There's lots of stuff to do. Downtown's booming. And never mind our life in Big Dumb Charlotte, it's still affordable there.
Mm-hmm. It's still affordable here, too.
Ish.
Most.
I'm surprised the place I've been living the last 3 years, the rent's not going up. So, hey, if anybody needs a place near South Park Mall, let me know. Since I'm busy moving to the moon, that's not quite Mint Hill.
Even further out than I am, because I'm still inside 485. But I think the problem now is that there's so much of an influx of people, because now we're the 16th biggest city in the entire country. I believe people know they can charge X amount, and they will get X amount. There are a couple houses in my neighborhood for $2,000 a month for rent, and I pay $1,150. I mean,
my rent's gonna be $1,100 on comparable sized house, just a little further out, but on half an acre. So let's see if I can break this lawnmower I just bought.
You did buy a lawnmower.
Yes, I did.
Did you get the plug in?
Hell yeah.
I tried to talk you out of it, but
what am I gonna do? Have to replace batteries instead of oil?
Or gas. I did get a gas. My gas power mower was $70.
Oil changes on gas mower, dum-dum.
I don't know what that is. I've had that mower 6 years and I've never changed the oil in it.
Damn, Thomas, what you doing?
It's $70. I mean, at that point, it's lasted longer than it should have anyway.
Of course, here, like, you could cut your lawn with a pair of scissors.
I could. And that's funny because the Jeep is so old, but it's mine, and I'm proud of it. It has 315,000 miles. What do I put in it? Mobil 1 fully synthetic expensive oil, yet I don't change the oil in my lawnmower. This is what we're working with here. I know that's a little bit backwards, but...
Thing is, if your mower breaks, you're not stuck hitching a taxi to work.
Yeah, because I'm not driving the S2000 to work. I don't drive the S2000 hardly ever. Except to Cars and Coffee from last week. Pretty good shot of us all parked there. I was not the most stock, but as they get more affordable, and none of the guys that were there had outrageous shit done, but I really, and I think Steve's on board.
So the yellow Transformers one wasn't there?
That one got totaled. The guy's name is
Congratulations,
Eve.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, super nice guy, and like he had a supercharger. Like it actually went too. So I mean, it was show and go.
So is he parting off that supercharger?
I don't know what he did with it, but it got fudged up. But he doesn't have any. He's got a Corvette now. He's getting a little bit older and a little bit heavier, so he was like, man, it's more comfortable.
He fell in the RCR trap.
You know what?
The S2000 is the last sports car you buy before you get a Vet
or a Viper. And actually, you know what I did at work yesterday? It was a little bit slow, and my not dream if I had to get a Corvette, I would rather have a C7. I still like the C6 body style a lot, especially this one was a 2012 Grand Sport, white, gunmetal wheels, no chrome, thank goodness. And the Grand Sport has the Z06 body on it, so it has the wider fenders and the hood scoot and everything. Really, really nice looking car. 6-speed, obviously.
That's still NA motor in a Grand Sport?
Still NA, but it's 435 horsepower because it's LS3. No, LS3.
Could I get a CTSV wagon Grand Sport?
CTSV wagon was supercharged. Yeah, it was already supercharged.
Because that would be my special brand of weird shit.
That would be so great. Oh my god, you would get so much trouble in a good way. But 2013, it was either 2012 or 2013, but white, the color I want. I'm not a supremacist. I do like my cars white though, and my wife's half Chinese. 29.9 for this Grand Sport, and it had 22,000 miles. Oh my goodness, clean title too. Clean title. It took everything for me to go, if I sold the S2000 and saved my music money this year, I don't need that Outback as a daily driver. I'll just buy that Corvette. But I'm not a Corvette guy. You and I are car people, but we don't gravitate toward, like, guys. I feel like guys who drive Corvettes are Corvette guys. Like, they love everything Corvette. Like, I'm not like that. I don't think you're like that.
To adhere entirely to one specific vehicle, yes, it's got the history. Yes, it's got its bright points. Yes, it's got its dull points. But yeah, it's a very specific thing that isn't quite what we're going for. But it sure is cool to see. Yes, it's still around, and hot damn if, what's it, the new Z06, 7 have you? That's bonkers McTavish, an amazing thing at a Bowling Green.
Mm-hmm. And I know that the argument is interior quality. Like, oh, the interior quality, the plastics aren't. I'm like, guys,
a lot better now than it used to be.
That, and who gives a shit? I mean,
it's only that which surrounds where you're sitting. If this doesn't look good, maybe it's going to grate on you. But since when did Corvette drivers or automotive journalists become interior designers?
No. And I mean, if you really want posh, I mean, unless you're going exotic territory, six figures, even 200,000, I mean, then you're going to get the high end and, the posh interiors and such. But you buy the Corvette to go fast and put a smile on your face. I mean, you can always upgrade interiors. It's, I don't know. To me, that's a weak argument because, I mean, the interior would have to be really badly, and they're not badly made. It's just the plastics aren't as fancy as the German platinums, and they're not everything's soft touch. And I'm like, does it go really fast? Is it fun? Does it put a smile on my face?
Does it take care of what it's built to do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. Because the S2000's interiors is nice.
Did it wind up launching a vent grate at your face? No. Exactly. Good.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. I don't know why. Well, this would be to Mark Konieczny. He's a fancy car interior guy, but he did buy the Mustang, and he says he didn't care, and that's the point, guys. If Mark, of all people, and we love Mark to death, but if Mark, who loves everything British and class and classy like Jags and shit like that. If he can buy the Mustang and be happy with it, I think you can buy your Corvette and not give a shit about some of the plastic pieces.
But that BMW Z4
Ooh.
would still be German, if not from Spartanburg.
And heinously unreliable. Just like every other German car maker that doesn't begin with the letters Porsche. Steve knows from experience.
I like your alphabet, whatever is going on here. Yeah.
Is the alphabet in that order because of the song?
It is now. Otherwise, I can only imagine the QWERTZ song. QWERTZ
We used to mess with our keyboard teacher in high school. Her name was Mrs. Hammond, no relation to Richard. I beat you to it.
So she didn't crash a Reebok.
She's got to be dead by now. She had like a 3-digit social security number. She was old, fucking old, like old. Rainbows were in black and white.
Could you imagine how many times her identity got stolen?
She was 4'10" and older than dirt, and people would go in to class before we would go in there, and when she left, they would like put her keyboard in alphabetical order.
While making the collection of keys to make your album covers for the keyboard ransom notes, I did rearrange one in alphabetical order.
That's got to be really weird. I mean, for us, it doesn't matter. We don't need it, but for a hunter and pecker, that would be really bothersome.
I call someone a pecker.
The failed name of the Columbia beer, Hunter Pecker Brew Company.
It'd be funny just to have one set up like that. It's like, well, how good's your touch typing? Here you go.
There's a
but did that, got the picture, and then kept the keys, pitched the board.
Steve works with computers. He's fancy. I don't know.
Ostensibly. No, Steve's trying to work more with computers. In the meantime, he works with printer. That the big Val pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, sometimes we don't all get to do what we enjoy for a living.
Or win.
I'm working on doing
2 years on graveyard shift, and today I feel like I need to go hop in that grave.
No shit, it's already been 2 years.
A little more than, yeah.
God. I just feel like it was like a couple of months ago. I know you don't.
It's been 12 years altogether.
Well, I mean, on graveyard, it feels like it's been not for 2 years. That's crazy. Well, you're working on a way out.
Either stay laid off or stick to the devil you know.
Well, we're both working on our ways out in various ways of corporate America. Well, we'll hope it works out. Kind of hoping this works out. This is a lot of fun. It'd be cool to like get paid to do this. I don't know who in the world would pay us to do this, but people listen to some dumb shit. This is bound to at least have a puncher's chance. Puncher gatherer. Thomas and I were going to make our own cidery called Hard Dickens Cider. Somebody's already fucking taken it, though. They beat us to it. Now, we can still do Death Row Brewing Company. Remember that?
That was pretty messed up. Entertaining, but still quite messed up.
I have the paper still, and it's in my closet, just in case we change our mind. We were going to open up a brewery in an old funeral home, call it Death Row Brewing Company. All the tap handles would be have coffin tops, and then like the tables would be shaped like a coffin. The brewery delivery vehicle was going to be a hearse.
It's like good old coffin top Tennessee.
Well, now that we're going to have to make the song and play that on repeat, and just all death related songs, which I'm sure there's a lot of them. We did songs about the rain in the first episode, songs about death in episode 3.
Yeah, it's all well and good. It's like Dude, you gotta give me more of a primer on this stuff.
No, we don't. No, it's like going to the store with a list. That's lame. Just go to the damn store and get whatever you want. That's what we're gonna do.
Go to the store with a list. Store doesn't have half the things on your list.
Well played, store.
Well, the last time I'm shopping at Bose.
B-O apostrophe S or B-E-A-U-S?
No one know.
I always say when I see
Sometimes I want a television at a reasonable cost. Well, they've got neither.
Every time I see somebody like Bo or like, and it's spelled E-A-U, I always
Boo.
Bo. I'm like, Bo.
Was it Beaufort versus Beaufort?
Thomas told me somebody.
2 coastal towns, 2 Carolinas, 2 pronunciations.
Yeah. And we're in the better of the Carolinas, if you ask me. I was told it was Beaufort by a resident who used to live there. Don't know if he still lives there or not.
That would be this state versus Beaufort, South Cac.
He lived in South Carolina and insisted it was Beaufort. But this goes to the point we just had. Nobody knows.
Either I'm gonna be in
Beaufort.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Everybody would know what you were talking about.
Arthurfort. That's golden.
Dorothy, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Damn it, was Jeff Ross on the roast of, I don't remember, but B. Arthur was there, and he had said he was trying to find jokes for everybody, and it's and I think it was Neil Brennan was there, and he's like, and before Jeff went on, he's like, "Hey Jeff," he goes, "B. Arthur's dick, write it down." All right. And like, I got halfway through. It was like, Pam Anderson's here. I wouldn't fuck Pam Anderson with B. Arthur's dick. And then later on, they were at like it was a couple of years before she passed away. But Jeff Ross said she came up to him and she's like, "I know you," or it's like, "Hey B, I'm sorry about the joke." She's like, "I know you little schmuck, but it was funny." And that's why B. Arthur was awesome. She was the oldest one on the Golden Girls. The Sophia was the youngest one, but they made her look the oldest.
That's so funny because like you'd about have to have the show would have had to have been shot as these schmucks with their cell phones today. Mm-hmm. If she was any shorter.
Yeah. She was the youngest, but she died first. She died first, and then B. Arthur died, and then Rue McClanahan died. No, Rue McClanahan died second, and then B. Arthur died. B. Arthur died like, I guess 2014.
I saw something in there. I think it was her where I saw a closed caption suffer from somebody being bad at English because she suffered from dementia.
Which dimension?
The 5th.
I thought that was an element. No, that's a Honda. Oh my! No
I already have
way.
a Honda.
No way. B. Arthur died in 2009. That was 9 years ago. Jesus. I give up. I don't know what time is anymore. Beatrice Arthur, born Bernice Frankel, May 13th, 1922, died April 25th, 2009. That is absolutely crazy. I had no idea it was that long. No shit. Maud, All in the Family, Golden Girls. I'm on Wikipedia. It wouldn't lie to me. Would it lie to you?
Only if I tell it to.
Wow. I did not know she was a Marine.
She's kind of a tough blotch.
Well, look at that.
If anybody was going to be Rosie the Riveting.
That's, well, after this picture, it's very similar. That 1943
his eyebrows.
1943 U.S. Marine Corps identification, showing her to be an inch shorter than me. She was 5'11".
Goodness,
that's a tall drink of water. I had no idea she died that long ago. I swear, that sucks, man. So like shit that happens like 10 years ago, you just think happened. I don't think I want to get old anymore. I think I want to go to Neverland. Michael Jackson's not there anymore, so it's probably safe. Well,
this time I kept getting Neverland and Graceland mixed up.
That would be a really cool theme park.
I would say that's just disgraceful.
So have you seen the video of Michael Jackson giving sign language to his monkey Bubbles, and the monkey sits down, and the monkey understands sign language? That I'd like to be at that point in my life. That'd be kind of neat.
To know sign language that well?
To get the monkey to learn it. I know how to say my name and how to say nice to meet you in sign language, and that's pretty much it.
Rather than flicking people off in traffic, I've simply been offering this gesture. the fingers flung across the chin. Just no, it's like the beard's there, so it's got a bit more panache. Rather than yes, I'm fluffing my beard in your general direction, jackass.
Emily gives the index finger. I don't care to, or the ring finger. I don't care to give my best. But somebody said, I cut somebody off in traffic by accident, and when they got up beside me, they looked at me and just gave me a thumbs down, and somehow that was worse than being flipped off. Very true. If you do not swear while you're driving, you're not paying attention. Steve and I went on a rant a couple of days ago, aka last podcast that didn't get aired, about people walking in the road or running in the road. Get out of the road. If there's no sidewalk, you know what? Go nuts. Not in the middle of the road, off to the very far side.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun going into work and almost crashing into someone right before I make my turn into the office because it's super dark there. And then upon further investigation, I think that is where there's a mailbox for a storage facility.
Person box. You did not assume the box's gender.
MAIL and fuck you on your post office. Fucking liberals.
We are liberals and that shit's annoying.
No, I'm an aggressive moderate. None of this matters, and neither do you.
That's a nihilist. We believe in nothing, the Basky. Nothing. I'm going to watch that tomorrow.
Nice.
All right, continue.
Are you going to order the sweater as well? Apparently that's a thing. 20th anniversary this year.
Oh, it is the 20th this year.
And find the darndest thing on his face space.
Wasn't Lebowski's Charlotte trying to get Bridges to come to the restaurant? I thought there was some sort of
I'm unaware of that being a thing, but I know they totally should.
They definitely should. We need to go to Lebowski Fest. That's I don't know where it's held though.
It's usually in the Midwest.
Well,
so
this year's fucked.
Don't totally fly over it.
Yeah, for real. So about your encounter with
almost running somebody over.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, some poor Muppets accessing a mailbox. At least upon further review, I would hope that's what and why they were doing that there. But still, it's not often I get to flex my old car's anti-lock brakes, but they still work to make quite the commotion with the intermittent screeching of the brakes, rather than the old school screeching of the brakes. Of the things I miss most of old Tacoma,
yeah,
the lack of ABS is another one of them, because that would have been a magnificent cacophony.
Jeep doesn't have ABS, so I understand.
And have you melted your Michelins yet, or whatever your predecessor had been?
The Goodyears, yes. I have locked them up. Those Michelins, nope. Nah. I'm sure you can, but you get what you pay for. The Goodyear tires were good for a year. The Michelins are...
So that's what the winged foot means.
Yeah, it really does. It means that's going to be the way you're going to get to wherever you're going. If We just went over this. I don't speak sign language.
I'm just gesturing foreign A.
But no,
Badly.
if you don't have sidewalks, that's one thing. But like we have sidewalks in our neighborhood, and I had sidewalks in my old neighborhood, and people would go for a walk, and they would walk in the road. Get out of the road. The road is for cars. Or I'll even meet you halfway, and bicycles. Hell, you can ride your bicycle on the road. It's a wheeled transportation. But why are you walking?
At least on a bicycle, you could do 20 downhill, dude.
Yeah. I've never seen anybody even speed walk at 20. So get GTFO the road if you're walking or running. Like, don't run in the... Just get out of the fucking road.
Yep.
Oh, I get shin splints if I run on the sidewalk. Buy you a better pair of shoes.
You're gonna get spine splints from my bumper.
And there's been, you can find numerous studies anyway saying running's bad for your joints anyway, no matter where you do it, unless you have an elliptical.
Should have smoked more.
Yeah. Then you wouldn't care. Or like the age-old argument. I'm hungry, but I want a beer. Do I eat or do I drink? If I eat, I am full. If I drink, I am full. And I am drunk. Drink it is. You can't get hungover if you never stop drinking.
Start my afternoon.
Hell yeah. Or Burt Crusher's. You do know what Burt Crusher is, don't you? So they went through they had this, how much did Burt Kreischer drink the day of the national championship game this year? And I think they had it up to like 40-something drinks that day. Whole drinks, not like samples like we did. Like 40 fucking drinks. Like woke up for breakfast and had like 4 or 5, doubles like straight away. Like I can't do that. I just can't fucking do it.
Well, do you want to be a machine? Because that's how you become the machine.
True.
Not just crazy ass trip to Russia.
Well, that and he had a movie made after him. So if you didn't know that, Van Wilder is kind of about Burt Kreischer. The Burt Kreischer's Fat remix song. Have you heard that?
Negative.
It was on the Your Mom's House podcast. It's just like a techno dubstep version of Burt Kreischer's Fat. He's the fattest comic working.
Next on, I'm not looking this up on my tablet at the time. Hey, let's Google shit. The podcast.
Because it's not we don't have the video feed going because we're not doing it.
You can see my birds, y'all.
So let's...
before this wraps, going back to the unreliability of the BMWs, because this is one of my favorite stories from the last episode. Mm-hmm. To be valeting, and you have your regulars. Dude with the 3 Series convertible that had it. It had been in a shop. So it was real funny seeing him roll up in a beige Hyundai
Take 2.
Elantra or Accent, like tiny car, mm-hmm. And he's just sarcastically raving at how wonderful this car is because hey, it runs, and the BMW didn't.
I thought it was a Subaru. Was
not there yet.
Oh,
and then later, BMW's back, things are fixed, and then a month later, has gotten rid of said BMW and rolls up in brand new flat 6 Outback. This isn't a rental. This is too highly spec to be a rental. Like, oh yeah, I traded the BMW. Like, it was due another $3,000 in repairs, and I'm just not gonna deal with it. Like, so his words. I'm rolling up here in my Lesmobile.
They share something in common.
The flat 6 is going to make a little better noise, though. Yep.
Okay, I didn't know. I missed the first part of your story the first time about the Hyundai. I just heard the bit about the Scoob.
I didn't throw that in last time.
You tricky guy.
This time the audio's not fucked up. We think. We hope.
Looks good so far. Sounds good so far.
Bad news for the rest of you.
I thought about getting rid of the Jeep or either lessening the duties and then getting a Subaru Outback Wagon Gen 2. the '04 or '03 to '09, you could get the Outback wagon or a Forester with the stick and the turbo, and I was considering it. And the more I think about it, the more I'm probably just going to keep the Jeep until an asteroid becomes a meteor and hits it, or somebody T-bones me, or it quits running. The first two are more likely. I think I'm just going to keep the Jeep for a little while. It's been paid for since I paid for it, so there's no need to. Is it an upgrade, or is it just a side grade? It depends on your needs for an automobile.
To ditch that in favor of whatever turbo thing. Mm-hmm. How fast do you want your next speeding ticket?
I got one. I got a car for that already.
Uh-huh.
So do I want another car? Do I need another thing I know I would spend more money on? Because the Jeep I spend on replacing worn parts. The Outback, I would be replacing the go slow parts for the go faster parts. And I feel like I would be going down this weird rabbit hole of buy car, want to keep car nice, buy daily driver, buy mods for daily driver becomes nice, buy another car to have daily driver, spend money to make daily. There's just it's a rabbit hole.
There are no houses in this development of capacity for 3, 4, 5 car garage. Are there?
I don't. Not on this side.
Okay.
Could you imagine though, like the car shuffling we would have to do every day if I were to add another one? It would be horrible.
You say by we meaning you and M.
Yeah,
which means
me.
You. Well, like
can't drive
it
a
was
stick.
still just. To have car parked behind her, that's not happening. You would, in fact, be murdered. I think she knows how now.
Definitely. Did you see Doug DeMuro's video? Or I know you don't really watch the videos too much, but with the Mercedes van,
The Metris.
It-
Yeah. You spent how much on this non-highly spec German piece of shit?
it was more funny that Mercedes decided it doesn't need folded seat. You can't fold the seats.
That
It's a van.
is... Does it ride on 20s? No?
No.
I can't have said this is redonkulous.
And it's got a 2-liter 4-banger. It doesn't have foldable seats, and it has flappy paddles. It has paddle shifts.
It has got effectively the engine out of this Forester you don't wish to get yet.
Yeah.
In something that
Weighs.
easily weighs 2 tons.
Yep. It is just an absolute rubbish vehicle. Steve has this look of disgust on his face that you... All right, Steve's face right now looks like his socks are wet.
Good news, socks are fine. Was die Ficken, Mercedes? This is a Scheiße. This is...
I don't speak freaky deaky German.
Etwas teure Scheiße. Some expensive shit.
I know what Scheisse is, at least. There's a nice German lady who shops at our store and only buys organic stuff. She's really, really sweet. But every morning I say, Guten Tag.
The nearest Lido is too far.
That and we're cheaper. We are cheaper, I believe. Very nice lady, though. And then everybody else asks me, she only buys organic. And then one of our regular customers says, hey, tell me the truth. Is organic healthier? I said, sure thing it is. 100 years ago, everybody ate organic and lived to the ripe old age of died in childbirth. So no, it's not any healthier. It's just, it's not.
Do you want your food with chemicals? Do you want your food without chemicals? Could you rinse your chemicals off? Okay.
I'm on a high chemical diet and high gluten. I'm on an all gluten diet right now.
Who's your favorite philosopher? Is it Aspartame?
It was for throughout yesterday when I had a 13-hour day. So I had plenty of aspartame. plenty of it. 13 hours sucks, but it was an easy 13 hours, so I might as well get paid to do halfway nothing. You know how that is, don't you?
Yeah, starting the next 2 days with gigs, and
Where's the valet tomorrow?
La Parma.
Maybe I'll go one day when somebody gives me a gift card for $500. How much?
Lunch is cheaper there.
I don't really see the need for valet on lunch at most places.
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that.
You'd be looking for another gig part 2.
Then I'd actually have to work evenings or something and actually do stuff.
You could just be our band manager. It's like every gig you get us, you get 25% of the pay. So whatever you can negotiate for us, you just get 25% of it. You don't have to do anything.
It's like, hey guys, do you actually like bands from the 90s? Have we got the thing for you?
We tried Ashley at Flying Saucer. We were like, you want to be our band manager? She says, yeah, that'd be great. And then for 2 weeks, she tried to get us gigs. I talked to her, and she's like, yeah, by the way, that's really hard. Nobody emails you back. I said, yeah, I know. Why do you think I was trying to outsource that?
Yeah.
We're doing pretty well now, but boy, it's once you get them, you start getting a lot of them. If you're a brand new musician in the area, in any area, you're gonna be playing a lot of free shows because nobody's gonna give you a chance because Joe Schmo's Bar and Grill's gonna book Group A the first week, Group B the second week, and it's gonna be rinse and repeat. No new artists.
Don't play at Joe Schmo's. Their wings suck.
Yeah, well, Buffalo Wild Wings wings suck. Wild Wing cafes are mediocre. D.D. Pecker's Wing Shack, on point. Shout out to D.D. Peckers. We love that place. We love that guy. We love everything about that place. Thomas and I discovered that place one night. He called me. This was a long time ago. This was at least 10 years ago. Thomas calls me. I'm really hungry. I'm like, all right, that's good. It's 10 o'clock at night. Well, he said, let's go somewhere. I'm like, if you pay, we'll go. I'll drive, you pay. He's like, well, I'm on my way to your place. Pick a place. We'll go there. Fine. Okay. So I'm just looking at places, and I see this D.D. Pecker's Wing Shack. So I'm like, that sounds too weird to pass up. So we go, and if you've never been there, the windows are blacked out. And then we get there. It's 11:30 at night. They close, I think, at 1. It was a Friday, I think. And I was like, I don't really want to go in. Looks kind of scary. I can't see inside this place. He's like, well, we're already here. We might as well go in. We went in. We're about the only people in there. Life-changing wings. Hot honey barbecue, hoisin, fajita. I'm really, really hungry right now.
Go ahead, find a bad flavor there.
Yeah, pretty much. They are all good.
I'm about to drool in the mic stand just thinking of it.
God. What time do you go into work?
10.
There's still time. 8:33. That would be cutting it close. But you wanted wings after episode 2.
To go episode. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Well, there is this cool little place right in front of my house that has wings too.
Any flavor you want, as long as it's barbecue or buffalo.
The Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce is really good. Not carbonated. They had peanut butter and jelly wings one night, and I got to tell you, a lot more bland than I thought they would be. You taste the peanut butter. Sorry, Sean Preston. And you don't really taste the jelly. It was just like eating peanut butter and chicken, and it's not as weird as you would think. Just kind of bland.
The PB's got better sticking power. For better or worse.
It was mediocre. And then they had the Jägermeister barbecue sauce.
Well, they should have made it crunchy.
Awesome.
And also crunchy Jägermeister.
Oof. God, oh my, oof.
It's because it's frozen.
When was the last time you had Jaeger? That's not a watch. So it's been a little bit.
Yeah, about the last time I had Red Bull.
Oh, you had the mix.
Yeah. So it nope. Does it taste like shit? Yes. Mm-hmm. Does it give you wings? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you're going to fight the next door you see? Yes.
I had a bad experience with Jaeger at the beach.
Among other things I don't like, licorice is one of them. I like almost everything, but talking about things that one does not like is way more entertaining than, how much do I love carrots and chicken wings?
The answer is a lot.
Uh-huh.
So if you have a shot glass of blue cheese and a shot glass of Jaeger. Wow, okay, that's a strong blue cheese hate going on.
Yes. Can I chase either with a glass of hot sauce?
Sure.
Okay. Then the blue cheese may have a chance.
It could be Winston-Salem Pete. I mean, Texas Pete.
Yeah. Food Lion actually does make a knockoff of that. It's simply their hot sauce.
Yep.
But the bottle looks the same. The flavor is the same.
Yes, it is. And every now and then...
And it'll irritate my reflex just the same. So it's a really good facsimile.
Tyler Rudisil and I don't know if you were there that night at Saucer, but...
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because Stephanie was our waitress, and I miss Stephanie. She was cool. It was, hey, I'll do a shot. I did a shot of salsa for a free beer, and Tyler did a shot of jalapeno juice. Now, for those of you who think the jalapeno juice was worse, I assure you it was not worse. The salsa shot was way worse because salsa is...
tomatoes. And what do you feel about tomatoes?
I do hate tomatoes. I love salsa. But the problem with doing a shot of something that's chunky is that it doesn't...
You have to chew it.
Yes.
Unless your gags are way over any of this.
No, I do. I have a gag reflex. So, and it was close. I don't know. You play your cards right, Esteban. Maybe we'll talk. Two halves can't make a hole without a hole. There's the podcastly purr. The jalapeno juice, it's spicy. Don't get me wrong. It is liquid though. It does go down a lot easier than chunky salsa does. Did get my free beer though. I really did, and I think it was an Oscar Blues that night. I can't remember stupid shit like that, but Emily asked me to get her milk on the way home, and I don't remember that. It'd be cheaper to buy her a cow at this point. That lady drinks some milk when we drink beer and talk about cars.
Funny thing about the milk or the beer, none of us is getting any taller from it.
No. I think none of us, I don't think we're going to get any taller. We're only going to get like Leon from Airplane. Larger. Emily watched Airplane with me and didn't crack a smile the whole time.
I've got a friend who just bought a Volvo. She's looking for names for Volvo. And she landed on Victor, Viktor, because that looks European-ish. Like, that's fantastic. So my 2 cents was adding the Victor, Clarence,
Roger. Captain Dunn.
To...
Captain over, Captain under. Shake hands. Over, done, under, over, done. I believe that was the second one. There's not a wrong answer to the airplane. They need to make an Airplane 3.
First is the better answer.
Yeah, they do need to make an Airplane 3.
Yes.
Just don't let the pilot be JFK Jr.
A little difficult now.
Hey, through hope, anything's possible.
No, he's still dead.
Well, I think we're going to wrap it up this time, guys. Thanks for listening once again. Please hit that subscribe button on our YouTube page. Go to facebook.com/CBGPod for all of our good stuff coming up. Let's get those subscribers up to over 100 so we could change the page to youtube.com/CBGPod. And by the way, if you're on national TV and you give the name for a website, the rule is the website has to exist. And if it doesn't, you must purchase the rights to it. Because Conan O'Brien got in trouble for that a couple of years, actually probably 8 years ago or so. There was a joke one time that they had. It was a stuffed manatee dancing to the song "I Touch Myself" to the Divinals by the Divinals. And as a joke, he said, "Yep, visit him at hornymanatee.com." And a couple of weeks pass, and he goes, "By the way, you guys might have remembered this episode." And they play it, and he goes, "By the way, if you say a website, it has to exist, and if it doesn't, you must purchase the name rights to it. So for 10 years, TBS is the proud owners of hornymanatee.com." They had t-shirt. I don't know if it's still up or not. They had t-shirts and bumper stickers, and now every time I hear "I Touch Myself," I think about a manatee dancing.
So they have to buy horny with a Y and horny with 2 E's manatee.com.
I hope so. Horny manatee. It flows better and it looks nicer with the E's. But we're going to check that out off air because I want to see if it's still on there or not. That's going to be great. The video was great too. So if you're on national television or national public radio,
I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I end this podcast.
I'm AJ.
I'm Steve.
Later.
Toodles.